following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to part 3 of episode 114 of Top Rope Rowdy. I'm Mike Hogan.
I'm Justin Kyle.
And let's talk about the WWE Cruiserweight Classic Tournament second round match results. We had 3 matches this past week. In the first match, Lince Dorado from Puerto Rico
Got it right.
versus Rich Swann of
Right
the
here,
USA.
Woo! You got it right.
And advancing in the tournament, your winner, Rich Swann.
Which kind of surprised me, but of course he's already signed anyway.
Yes.
But I think Lince Dorado would be another good one. I hope they sign.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Even if he's in NXT, I think that he would be a good signing. Second
Yes.
match was Drew Gulak. I wonder if you would have got that one right.
I heard it a few times, maybe.
Drew Gulak from the United States of America, taking on Zack Sabre Jr. of the UK, and your winner, which I bet this was a hard-fought battle. Have you watched it yet?
Oh, I watched it, yes.
Was it good?
It was.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm so far behind on the Cruiserweight Classic stuff. And your winner is Zack Sabre Jr.
And your third match of the evening, in the main event, you had T.J. Perkins from the Philippines taking on Johnny Gargano from the USA, and your winner by submission was T.J. Perkins.
Exactly. Now,
Worked on the leg that was injured at TakeOver
really?
to get when he put the leg lock on.
This was filmed after Takeover?
Now this is filmed before TakeOver.
So they knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, they even showed him before the match, wrapping his knee up. And everything.
Really? Triple H is so smart.
Yes.
Filmed it beforehand, but knew what the plan was for that
Yeah.
match.
Knew the old
It'll
Chop
clip
block.
Chop block. The clip. Clippy
clipping
clippy.
in the back of the leg. Yeah.
But we have the Great 8 quarterfinal matches, and they're going to be as followed.
Right.
You got Akira Tozawa. Did that one good.
You did
Akira
that one, yeah.
Tozawa. Taking on Gran Malatik.
Yep.
Yes.
And the winner of that match you just mentioned will take on the winner of Zack Sabre Jr. and Noam Dar.
Now that we know that Noam Dar is already signed, if he wins against Zack Sabre Jr., that would be number one, a big upset.
They would be.
Number two, that would put a sign towards, they're going towards someone maybe that's already signed and already been put on to Raw.
That is true.
Then you got the Brian Kendrick
The Brian Kendrick.
taking on Kota Ibushi. I can never say his first name, but Ibushi.
And the winner of that match will take on the winner of the T.J. Perkins Rich Swann winner.
Very good. And we already know that T.J. Perkins and Rich Swann and Brian Kendrick, all three have been signed. So the T.J. and Rich Swann is up in the air. It could
Yes.
be either way.
Could be either way.
Brian Kendrick, I think, will be losing. I'm going to go ahead and predict that one. I think Ibushi is, even if he doesn't win the whole thing, I think he'll go very far.
Yeah, that Brian Kendrick's Swan song, you know, he's continuing on.
He's going to continue
Now,
on.
they're making it feel like, you know, he's got to do what he got to do. He got the experience.
He doesn't need to
last
win the
shot. Could
class.
this be his last shot?
He's already going to be on the main roster, so he doesn't even need the Classic.
No,
Now, if they said, if you don't win the Classic, you don't get a contract.
that is true.
Understandable at that point.
So you're saying on the semifinals, you're
I
saying
didn't even read ahead of that. I was already predicting stuff. I am so
I
smart.
thought you were ahead there.
I really did not.
But on the semifinals, who do you see in the semifinals?
Who do I see in the
Other than we know
semifinals?
that Ibushi, or it's not Ibushi, so
Yes, I said Ibushi. So the first match, Tozawa versus Metalik, which I'm gonna definitely look out for that one.
Yes.
I think that one right there will be a phenomenal match.
oh yeah, most definitely.
Which I'm assuming they've all already been filmed, but we don't talk about that here. They haven't? They have. But I really don't even know. I didn't pay attention.
I do know, but I'm not going to tell you.
Don't tell me.
I'm not going to say.
Okay, so
So I'm going to let you. How do you feel?
here's where I think it could go. Gran Malatik taking on Zack Sabre Jr. Semifinals. Kota Ibushi taking on T.J. Perkins. That's where I see the semifinals going, and then I'll go ahead and tell you the finals, in my opinion. I still feel that it would make sense to have Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Ibushi. They're the two main people they focused on for the entire time.
And it leaned that way since the beginning.
And they may be leaning that way just to surprise you, and it could be one of these other guys.
Once they put one on one side of the bracket, one on the other, you're like, oh, here we go.
Exactly.
They just follow right to each other. So.
But that's where I would like to see the semifinals go to, and where I like to see the finals go to. And I'll go ahead and say I would like to see Ibushi win the whole thing.
He just may.
My opinion. And also on this question, it says, how out of the 8, who do you see as the dark horse?
Yeah.
And out of the dark horse, out of all of these, I would probably give it to Rich Swann. I didn't predict him to win,
No.
but out of these 8, out of whoever wins, if he was to go all the way, Rich Swann would definitely be, even though I know he's already signed, but he's not one of the ones that really focused on it.
No.
I would think that Rich Swann would be the dark horse of the rest of these 8 right here.
That is pretty good. So we'll find out because it'll start
Coming up
this
soon.
Wednesday, yes.
This Wednesday with the quarterfinals. And I wonder how...
It'll be 2-2. That gets it to the 14th. There's still 2 more Wednesdays before the 14th.
Gotcha. And I'm thinking of those other... I know there was other random matches, like tag team matches and other ones. I think that they'll put those non-tournament matches in there to fill up some time.
Yeah.
At least maybe 1 and 1.
Because one time they cut short. They went whole 60 minutes, like 48 minutes. You're like,
Right.
and that's with their so-called commercials that they have on the network. So.
Right. And even going and talking to Corey Graves in the control center.
Yeah. Right.
It
Well,
is
let's
weird.
talk about Talking Smack.
Talking smack. ladies
It
and
is
gentlemen.
the talk of wrestling ever since it come on after
Talk of the town. if you will.
SmackDown Live.
Okay, and I just want to point this out. From sitting right here, looking at ourselves, that looks like the Thunder logo if I've ever seen it in my life.
It does, don't it?
Because it's not, probably for y'all, it's probably a little more clear. But from looking this direction, not as focused in, not as clear, and it looks like the Thunder logo.
Yes.
Clearly not. But it looks like
it
it.
looks like it. Yeah, they own it, so why don't
They
put
own
it?
it. Exactly. Just don't do that set again, please.
No, I love the new sets.
Yes, the Thunder set was horrible.
So they took what they did for SummerSlam and just said, we're keeping it, and they kept for everybody.
But I wonder if they kept it just for that week.
I don't know, because SmackDown was a different place.
That's true.
And SmackDown was
Which I thought was
Mohegan
stupid.
Sun. They were at the casino.
Which I thought was stupid. Why didn't they just keep it right there for a whole week?
They should have kept it right there.
From Saturday all the way to Tuesday.
Yeah.
But yes, let's talk about what happened. Daniel Bryan said about The Miz on Talking Smack and what happened after. He said if he wanted to know what the soft style was, if he wanted to watch someone with a soft style, if he's an indie wrestler and said this is how I need to wrestle, then this is the person I need to look at. And he said that's The Miz. And he also said The Miz wrestles like a coward, like he's scared to get hit.
Mhm.
Of course, a heated argument started up, and The Miz leads to Bryan storming off the Talking Smack set.
Yes. Well,
Now-
he said, hey, I've been out here every day. I do all this.
And he's never had a long-term
never
injury.
Yeah, you said you're
Never.
gonna be back. You said you never could come back.
So he's saying he's a coward, that he said
Yeah, they're
Daniel
saying
Bryan
Bryan's
is
a coward.
scared.
Yeah. He's saying Bryan's a coward.
But then, of course, Daniel Bryan did say that if it was his choice, he would already be back. Now, I'll ask you your opinion, since you asked me my opinion of the other thing.
Mhm.
I'll ask you your opinion. Do you think that they took the real-life frustration of Daniel Bryan wanting to be in the ring and make it a work shoot?
I think so. Because part of real life makes it real good.
Okay, do you think that when they talked to The Miz about this and said, hey, this is what we're going to be doing on the Talking Smack set, you can't put two S's
No,
together.
it's hard there.
When they went out there, do you think they said, look, just talk from here and go out?
It seemed that way.
Because he was stuttering over himself, he was getting flustered and stuff
There
like
was
that.
I don't think no script was involved in this thing.
So, which I think was best.
Oh yeah, mostly.
Now, he got his point across. He did stutter some. He did get flustered.
Makes you feel
thought
more real.
I thought the vein in his forehead was going to kill him,
Makes
I thought it was
makes
gonna burst.
more real.
but it did look real. They've already got memes out there with his face being so red. It did look quite scary. I think they even did something with with Back to the Future.
I haven't
Because
seen
apparently
it.
one of the characters says something about nobody calls me a coward or something. I can't remember. I had to go watch it again. But I've heard that they're talking about continuing this with other wrestlers talking down to Daniel Bryan and getting him more and more and more and more frustrated. Do you like that direction?
If it leads to what I think it's going to lead to, that'd be fine.
Yes. 'Cause I feel the same way. If it leads to nothing, then we're wasting our time. Like, if they were doing that to Mick Foley, we obviously know we're wasting our time because he can never wrestle again. I mean, you see how he can't hardly walk. Now, Daniel Bryan's still young enough, and he feels he's healthy enough. And
Maybe healthy enough.
I've also read that they haven't thrown out the idea of him ever coming back.
Exactly.
But,
Would he be full time? I don't want to be full time.
no, he doesn't need to be
I want
full-time.
it one and done.
But I don't want it against The Miz.
That's who it'll be against.
What about other...
He'll take the title off The Miz and then they'll put it for grabs and have a tournament.
I don't know. He may do like Brock and do more than just a one and done.
Well,
But he definitely, if he does more than one and done, he definitely does need to change his style.
oh yeah. he wants to
No
take
more
the
flying headbutt things. No more, this and that and the other. No more of all that craziness. Just like how Enzo needs to quit flying through the top of the middle rope.
That's true.
Just like Big E needs to quit flying out of the ring to do that freaking spear where he almost breaks his neck. Stuff like that needs to be addressed. You can still get a pop. Less is more. That's the way I look at it. So Daniel Bryan, if he
I
they
want
do
to
let him
stay.
come back,
I want to stay the general manager.
I do like him as the general manager. He's actually been
I don't
more.
want him to be.
He's
done
really
with
come out
this.
of his shell, being able to talk more on the
Right.
microphone as the general manager.
And if it does now, okay, fine. I understand you come in like Brock. Okay, well, you have this match against Miz. You take the title off Miz.
I mean, look at Triple
and
H.
you give
He's
the
supposed
title
to
up.
be-
You ain't got to defend the title. Say, nope, I did what I wanted to do. I wanted the title. I'll make sure this title is more prestigious. And not being around the Miz's waist is going to make it more prestigious.
I wanted to prove that I was better than him because I'm not a coward.
Yes.
All this kind of stuff. Yeah.
And then you go away a little bit and have some more with somebody else, and you get back in the ring again at WrestleMania or something.
Because
You
I
did with
clearly
Triple
think
H.
it's
Yeah, like you say, yeah,
Triple H
yeah.
because he does it and he's still an authority figure.
Yeah.
Just like I think, honestly, I don't want to see it. I think it's stupid. It's not going to work. I think they're going with Shane versus Brock.
I'd rather see Randy Orton versus Brock.
But don't it look like it? They said that the Shane, I don't know if he said it, I can't remember exactly what went down, but they said that the business between Shane and Brock is not over yet because that $500 fine, which is a slap in the face, which it was just for storyline anyway.
Yeah.
But I honestly
yeah,
think that's where
I
they're going with it. I don't like it
I
because it's just
don't
going to
either.
make Shane look very weak already. He already got destroyed by The Undertaker. What does he have to prove against Brock?
Yeah.
Nothing. He has nothing to prove against Brock Lesnar. But I do like Daniel Bryan. I know we got a fun tangent, we always do.
Yes.
But I do like the Daniel Bryan idea. I do like the realism of it. Him walking off the set, stuff like that, and him getting yelled at for walking off the set. All that kind of stuff is really good. Renee Young played it off really well.
Oh, the whole show was got me. Of course,
Renee
because you
Young-
had Carmella attacking Nikki out of the
And
blue.
Renee Young played that off. Is she okay?
Yeah.
Is she alright?
And the Usos had to make the save to split them up and everything.
Yes.
And, I mean, yeah, I love it. They did real well. I love that.
Yeah, 'cause at
Shocking all that
first,
stuff. Every
the
once in a
Talking
while.
Smack
Don't do it all the
show-
time.
the Talking Smack show was kind of like, hit or miss. I don't really care. That type of thing. But if they do stuff like that where they continue storylines and stuff and it's not just interviews, I like it.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I thought it was really good. But yes, I hope they continue this, and I hope that the plan is, I don't know how far away that they're waiting to do this with Daniel Bryan. I don't know how long they're going to wait for him to really blow up and, beat somebody
Could
up.
they add it to Backlash?
I think it's too early.
I do too, but could it happen?
I mean, they're doing all these pay-per-views, boom, boom,
Are
boom,
they trying?
boom,
Are they
boom.
trying to make it? Like
Like
a
a bigger
2-week build?
events?
No, I mean it's a 2-week build to get more people to view the network.
I just,
Buy rates for the network to watch Daniel Bryan take on the Miz.
I'd rather see it at Survivor Series or something. I'd rather them see it in a bigger pay-per-view, but I understand they're trying to make this lesser pay-per-views a bigger deal. But when you have, 17 of them?
Yeah.
When you have that many, it's all the pay-per-views, in my opinion, are now diluted.
They
But,
are. Since we're talking about the pay-per-views, let's talk about the Raw and SmackDown Live pay-per-views. Already we know about WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank,
Survivor
Survivor Series. those pretty much will be probably both brand pay-per-views.
Yes.
Now, the ones that we know of that are split so far are Clash of the Champions, which will be the end of September for Raw. You got Hell in the Cell, end of October.
Will only be for Raw?
For Raw.
Gotcha.
Roadblock on the middle of December for Raw. And then you take over SmackDown.
SmackDown Live will have Backlash September the 11th, Richmond, Virginia. No Mercy, October the 9th, Sacramento, California. And TLC, December the 4th, in Dallas, Texas. So that's 6 of them. And they say there's 7 more. I think, and this is my opinion, I know that it didn't work out for a certain person, but I think that the 7th one needs to be King of the Ring. And it needs to be a joint pay-per-view. They need to have King of the Ring qualifiers on Raw, King of the Ring qualifiers on SmackDown, and all come together for that one thing. And it doesn't have to be a pay-per-view. It could be a special event only on the network. I'm fine with that because I think Backlash is only on the network, right?
Yep. Because No Mercy may be only on the network.
Well, I think some of that is because they can only do so many pay-per-views on pay-per-view provider.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why they're doing it that way.
But they don't need all SmackDown Live pay-per-views need to be on.
No. What I would like to see, and maybe this is where they're going pretty soon, is that all the ones that are individual pay-per-views are only on the network, and only the ones on pay-per-view are Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. What's the other one? There's 4. SummerSlam. The joint pay-per-views, I think, are the only ones that need to be on pay-per-view. It would make them feel more special. And all the split ones, because if they only do SmackDown Live on the network, it makes them look stupid. They need to have all the split ones on the network, and that'd be totally fine with me.
Yes.
But the King of the Ring, I think it would look good because they have Raw competitors and qualifiers, SmackDown competitors and qualifiers, and then the winner of each individual. You can say, well, I won the Raw portion of the King of the Ring. I won the SmackDown portion of the King of the Ring. But then there's one King of the Ring. There's one SmackDown versus one Raw guy who's the WWE King of the Ring.
Yeah, because you said part of the bracket will be SmackDown side, part of the bracket will be Raw side, and then the final will be a joint.
Yeah, so the Raw bracket, this guy, let's just say, Big Cass wins the Raw bracket, so he could brag, well, I'm the Raw King of the Ring. This guy, let's just say, give me a SmackDown guy. Because I don't watch it.
Give me a SmackDown guy.
Tell me the name.
Kane,
he'll never win it. Kane wins the SmackDown side. So he says, I'm the SmackDown King of the Ring.
Kane, come on.
King Kane. But then it's Big Cass versus King Kane in the finals. So then you have one from each brand, and the winner is the WWE King of the Ring. I think it would make it look better.
Yeah, it would.
And, if they do it right, of course, and not destroy a character with it.
Because you get 5 matches out of the King of the Ring.
Yeah.
2 from Raw, 2 from SmackDown, and
then the finals, right?
Oh yeah, 3. You get 3 out of there. That's right. I'm going too far back in the thing. You get 3. You have 1 from Raw, 1 from SmackDown, and the finals.
And then they'll do other random matches.
World title matches, Universal title match,
Intercontinental
title match.
You can have some of the other title matches on there.
Tag team title match.
Exactly. It'll be a 3. It could be a 3-hour pay-per-view, not a 2-hour special or 1-hour special, whatever it was last time. Make it a 3-hour pay-per-view. Have the other title matches on there, but make sure the finals is the main event. Do the Raw finale, and then the SmackDown finale, and then other random matches, and then the actual finale.
You think they're going to bring back Elimination Chamber?
Well, they said a lot of the venues won't run it, but I think if Hell in a Cell is only for Raw, I think they do need to have a certain cage or certain gimmicky pay-per-view, which, they got TLC for SmackDown, which maybe that's what they're going
for that, though.
But Roadblock doesn't have, it's not a gimmicky show.
Could be.
They could make it. But I'm just saying, you got Hell in a Cell, TLC, that could be their gimmicky ones. Hell in a Cell for Raw and TLC for SmackDown.
I'm waiting for the list. I haven't seen the list anywhere. I've been checking around. I haven't seen the list.
But that's 6. They were only adding 7, right?
Yeah, they got 12 normal, and then they're adding 7.
But I think Hell in a Cell was already one of the 12, right?
Right, yes, it's already one of 12. So is TLC.
See, so actually there's going to be more than
And Clash of Champions is only
Night of Champions.
So that's already part of the 12.
That's true. So we still got more names to look for.
We still do, yes. So we got a February. February is going to be 2 probably. January maybe. No, January should not be 2. If you're together in the one pay-per-view, that should be your month. January should be Royal Rumble only, not 2.
Because then that means, okay, then
WrestleMania should be 1.
Yep.
SummerSlam should be 1, and Survivor Series should be 1.
Should be.
Yes. The rest.
Put 2 on the
No,
fine.
Money in the Bank has to be 1, so you have each Money in the Bank case from each show.
True.
Unless there's 4 and 4 or 5 and 5 from both shows, you take the briefcase. You get the briefcase.
You
Either you
pick
go with
one.
the U.S. title, Universal title, or you go after the World title.
Which, that was my other point. I almost forgot the other point. I think another good thing would be if they did the King of the Ring to make it more prestigious. Even if it wasn't for the World or the Universal, I think the winner of the King of the Ring, which is Raw and SmackDown coming together,
Right.
even if it's a SmackDown guy that wins or even if it's a Raw guy that wins, I think they should take that King of the Ring, and it's not really a cash-in because you're going to be the King of the Ring for a whole year, but you should use that and call them a #1 contender, and they get to choose. That could be a way to swap someone from another brand.
Yeah.
Let's say Cesaro wins the whole thing and he wants to go over to SmackDown. So he goes after, let's say he doesn't go after the world title. Now he doesn't go after Dean. He goes after the Intercontinental title. That would make the Intercontinental and the U.S. title look more prestigious.
Right.
If you win the King of the Ring, you either get to go after the Intercontinental or the U.S. and it's your choice. That makes the King of the Ring mean something.
Yeah, because if you have a title, any shot you want, everything's going to be. You go to the World, why don't you go to the lower title?
Right, but if they make it specific, they make you pick one of those,
Oh, yeah.
then it also makes those lower titles look better because they're making you fight for that. And you're fighting for it. You're going through the whole tournament to fight just for a chance to go after that belt.
Right.
Same thing with the Royal Rumble. Because the Royal
And
Rumble's
it
going to
should
have
be
Raw.
a couple of main event guys, but mostly mid-card guys should be in the
Exactly.
tournament.
Exactly. The same thing should go on with the Royal Rumble. It should be Raw and SmackDown guys, but then just because the SmackDown guy wins doesn't mean he should have to. They'll probably do that though for the Royal Rumble, make them choose the SmackDown World Title. But they used to do it to where you could choose either one.
Yeah, you
If
choose
you want
the
the
winner,
Royal
whoever
Rumble.
won. Yeah, whoever won, choose the one. Yeah, unless
Yeah.
you're Raw. I mean, the SmackDown, whoever won out of Raw and SmackDown, that's what title to win for. So,
Because remember, they used to do it to where if you won the Royal Rumble,
You
they
pick
used to
whatever.
stand the World Champion, the WWE Champion, and even when they had ECW, they had all 3 of them stand there, and you picked one.
Yeah.
So they may go back to doing that. I don't
but
know. But they could always do if the SmackDown guy wins and Raw has a mini Royal Rumble.
well, what they need to do is whoever wins, it should be SmackDown this time, because let Finn rest a little bit more, because and when he comes back, he gets a challenge. He gets his
challenge
WrestleMania.
whoever
He gets his WrestleMania match and for the Universal title.
Yeah.
So.
and win his title back that he never truly lost.
Mhm.
And wouldn't that be quite poetic justice if he beat Seth Rollins again for it?
Yeah.
Saying, you did the same thing. You came back because you never lost that belt. You came back to win it. I'm doing the same thing to you.
And speaking of Seth Rollins,
Speaking of, we do so well with this, don't we?
it's been out there, but
And I talked about this before we ever went on air.
and it's been out there. I mean, may have and may not. I mean, they have done a lot, but does WWE need to ban Seth Rollins running powerbomb?
Here's my point. Okay, I'm gonna throw this out here, which we got really dark on the screen. Sorry about that, guys.
Wow,
Really dark.
you did get really dark, didn't we?
Really dark. Okay. Hopefully you can still see me. But here's the thing.
Keep talking slow.
It's crazy, ain't it?
It is crazy.
We need to then what we need to do is take down the brightness on that TV screen. I think that will help, guys. So here is my thought process. They do need to get rid of the running powerbomb, but when they ban moves, let's think about it. Pile driver, yes, that was necessary because look at Stone Cold, broke his neck. Okay, I get it. Get rid of that. The only one that's allowed to do it, well, 2 of them, is Kane and Undertaker,
Yes.
only with a tombstone version of it.
Yes.
Not the
Not
other
Jerry
version.
Lawler.
Not Jerry Lawler.
No
exactly.
jumping powerbomb.
No Jerry Lynn with the cradle power
Yes.
pile driver. Okay, which Kevin Owens used to do a pile driver thing like that too.
Yeah.
Think where he put both legs in, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay, so here's my point though. That made sense. They took the information they knew, people were getting hurt,
Mhm.
they got rid of that move.
Yes.
Same thing they knew to do with this. Running powerbomb, okay, these people got hurt. We've had 2 big names get hurt, so we need to get rid of this because clearly You know, just because these people didn't get hurt doesn't mean they may not later on. So,
right, yeah.
because you can land, I mean, look at Sting. I mean, he looked like he took the move correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But he gave him whiplash and it messed up his neck. He whipped his head back and that's all it took. He landed with his upper
I
back.
thought, I mean, you looked when you saw Finn hit the.
You looked at me and said he hurt his arm.
Yeah,
He just hurt his
I
arm.
know he jerked his shoulder back out of joint, knocked out of joints a little bit.
He put his shoulder back into place,
Yes, put it back
which
in,
is
but
scary.
yes.
But here's my other thought process, and it has to do with a Seth Rollins move as well. Why? Okay, I get that you get rid of the pile driver and you say it's illegal. I get that you would do that with the running powerbomb. But if a move has not injured someone, why ban it? Why take away the curb stomp when there's no evidence of it hurting anyone? You can clearly put your hands down, and clearly he doesn't force their face down.
No.
He never has forced their face down. He just jumps up and hits the back of their head, and they don't whiplash.
Yeah.
They just drop. Their whole body, they let their arms out and they just drop. So if there's no evidence that that move ever hurt anybody, why get rid of that one and still keep the running powerbomb?
It's very weird on that. You're right. I mean, I've heard they got rid of it because they're afraid people will imitate it and hurt someone, and step on the back of their head.
You could give someone a pedigree that he does, and you could hurt them, knock them out.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you don't let go of their arms, because that's how Triple H protected the guys, when you go up in the air, you let go of their arms, and their arms will come down in front of their face. If you don't do that, and you yank their arms back, and you drive their head in, like the first one that Triple H ever did to, which I think was Buck Zumoff, or whatever his name was, his head drove right into the mat.
He drove it on in there.
It's all about how you deliver these moves, and people are going to the end of time. People are going to imitate these moves.
Yeah.
You cannot stop anyone, and they can't really sue you because it says don't try this at home.
That's right.
That is a legal binding thing right there. It says, hey, just like now no one can sue McDonald's anymore because I know shout out to McDonald's because the cup with coffee. I didn't know it was going to be hot when it spilled on me. No,
hot
it says
coffee, yeah, it is hot
caution, extremely hot, because they did get sued and lost for that, which is so stupid.
That is.
That woman's like, I didn't know it was going to be hot when it hit me. So, it's coffee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that right there protects them. Please do not try this at home.
That's right.
So, that's on the parents, that's on the kids, or whatever. You know what I mean?
You're right. That is true. I mean,
Even some of these parents have killed their children playing around, throwing them on a powerball onto the bed, and they break their neck. So sometimes it's the parents doing it to the kids, not even the kids doing it to the kids. So, you just can't control people what they're going to do in life.
no. And I mean, they may ban. We'll know.
Pretty soon,
Yeah.
in the next couple of months.
He may start, getting you up, but you'll fight out, or he'll.
Which they did that to Sammy, right? I think on Raw, he tried to pick him up for the running powerbomb outside the ring, and he got out of it.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that'll be the sign that it's banned.
But Bret Hart needs a.
He needs to back off.
He's
That old bitter man. I I didn't really want to say this, but I told you so.
I
If you
know.
didn't want to say it, then don't say it.
I know that's.
He really is truly picking on this man.
Yeah.
It's quite ridiculous.
It is.
I don't hear him saying, why are y'all letting Goldberg come in to WWE? He injured me. He's going to injure somebody.
Give it time. Give it time.
It's ridiculous,
It
though.
is. I know. Bret.
I know you can't go anymore, but dadgum, man. You're allowed to have your opinion, but to sit there and just lash out on someone like he is crazy.
And Sting and Seth talked, and I
Sting
bet you
even
that-
said it was his fault, which Seth
and
blames
Finn
himself, but still.
And Finn and Seth probably talked.
Right.
So.
But, they don't sit there and blame him for it. It's part of the business. Remember I did that rant already.
Yes.
You walked into this business, you signed up for it, you knew you could get hurt at any given moment. You could you could try to get in the ring and trip over the rope and fall and bust your face and knock yourself out. And not even get hit with a move. Come on now.
Yeah.
You wrestle on a ring that's nothing but a bunch of daggone wooden boards underneath it.
Sammy tore up his shoulder doing the cheering.
Thank
too
you.
aggressive.
So why don't Brett not get mad at him? You have to be more careful with yourself.
No cheering.
Sammy.
Yeah, stop
Don't
cheering
cheer.
so much. So.
Don't get too excited.
Yeah. So we
So do we agree that the move should be banned? I think we should.
I'm not sure.
I think if he does a running power bomb and just he runs with it and just boom, they fly back on the mat, I'm fine with that. I think going into that turnbuckle, anything can happen because you're letting go
You're
of
flying
your
out.
opponent.
They are flying.
They're flying backwards where they have no real control of their body, and he's letting go of their body. So at that point, you can no longer protect your opponent. You see what I'm saying?
I hated that. I hated the
It
pile
looks
driver.
cool.
I like the pile driver. I mean, it's work moves at work that make you look like you could hurt somebody. And sometimes you do hurt somebody because it is wrestling, like you said.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, the running part it does have to go, and I believe they will ban it. They will ban it if they haven't already. That makes 2 ban moves for Seth already. So
Yes, his whole repertoire is going down the drain.
well, that is it for part 3.
Part 3.
Coming back to part 4 of the list.
That does not miss.
Hey, we talk about the WWE star that failed as the guy, another one. We pull out the storybook and talk about father and sons who won the same wrestling title. And also the 13 biggest matches we should have booked in the 80s, that WWE should have booked in the 80s, but did not.
Yeah, we should have booked it.
Yeah, we should have.
WWE should.
I wouldn't book this one. And we're down to number 1, so this is the last one for the 80s.
Last one for the 80s. We got one more for the 90s, right?
No, nothing more for the 90s.
Oh, we were behind on them, I guess. We started them late.
Yes. Started them late.
Gotcha.
So come on back to the list. I'm Mike Hogan.
I'm just a cow.
We'll see you in a few clicks.